Just wanted to talk briefly about controlling rainwater and erosion on the homestead. And especially with a new homestead, this can be a big challenge when you got lots of ground that is not yet seeded and not yet growing grass. The rainwater it washes over more quickly, and it takes a lot of sediment with it. And so, I mean, you need to get the rainwater under control for a lot of different reasons. I mean, around the garden, it'll wash your garden away. Around your homestead, I mean, so you can get your chores done without getting muddy. And so we had a situation here with the barn and the rain barrel here. All the water kind of comes down from the slope up there, and it all was finding its way into this big trench, and it was flooding. Like, I might be able to find a quick video to insert of the rainwater just flooding in here, but it flooded like the entire lot, and this entire area was just like flowing over, made a mess of the mulch that we laid down over there. So, I mean, I did some experimenting with this pipe I put in, because I knew water was flowing through here, and I knew we wanted to put a road through and that we wanted to take the water under the road. But this pipe, it's been challenging. If you put in a little pipe like this for more than like 10 feet and you can't see the other end of it, you make very careful sure that that thing never plugs. And what happened with this pipe was it did almost entirely plug, and it was because the water was coming down so much. Here you can see where it eroded a little trench there. The trenches on this property drive my wife nuts, but you gotta have trenches to keep the water from doing even more damage. Like when we put this road in, I specifically put the road in so I could use the bank and curvature of it to take all the water here and divert it to where I wanted it to go, to keep it from all ending up down there and eroding the bank. But anyway, what was happening with this was, originally we had that pipe in there, and you can see there's a little wire mesh on there. Well, originally there was no wire mesh, and all the sediments and some rocks from this gravel were eroding down into here, and this whole area would fill up with like 3 to 4 inches of just loose sediment. And what happened was that's fine, the sediment will wash right through the pipe, but what happened was some big pieces of gravel washed in too, and they kind of settled and got stuck down there somewhere, and then the sediments came in behind them and settled and got stuck behind them, and that almost plugged this pipe. I had one heck of a time trying to unplug it, because it's long. It's got to be like 20 feet long at least, and it takes a bend somewhere in there, so you can't see the other end of it. So I had to make myself a little tool, like 2 bamboo poles. I screwed them together, and it had like a little angle on the end of it, so I could like send it in like that, turn it, and then pull and try and get everything out of there. But it took hours to clean, but I finally did. And I resolved that I was never going to let that happen again, hopefully. And so at first I tried a finer mesh that I had. It was kind of like this, except the squares I think were only 1/4 inch apart. And I thought that was going to be okay. That was going to keep all the big stuff out. But that was keeping pretty much everything out. And the holes were so small that the water, a leaf, or even small things like hay or grass or stuff, were quickly getting clogged in those holes and plugging it, and pretty much plugging the cap, so then the water would fill up in here and then just flood everywhere. So I changed that to this 1 inch by 1 inch wire mesh, and I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. If anything, I might take some wire that I have and maybe put it diagonally across some of those, make the holes just slightly smaller, but they're much bigger, so I think even like some leaves maybe might be able to get through there, but certainly most of the small stuff that was clogging the other drain. So I guess that's just a few tips for now. I'll have to do another video showing how well it works in the future, but yeah, controlling water on the homestead is important.